Hello everybody! You are with Texie and stories and funny shenanigans.
So let's kind of tell everyone how it started or what's going on with you.
Yeah, we actually haven't told everybody the story on how it started. Or like how I even got here.
So what happened?
Alright everybody, so story time. So on how I got here is basically one morning I woke up, like how long were we?
Probably 2 days.
Yeah, it was probably 2 days prior. So we got back from Florida, like every morning, woke up, got up out of bed, and as I rolled up out of bed, y'all, I turned to the side to get up and walk out of bed. I fell to the floor. That's not Texie. No, you're supposed to go. And the reason for that being how I fell, why I fell, is because I couldn't see. Like, you ever, like, got, like, the room spinning? Like, have you ever seen those movies? Like a quarantine movie or just a scary movie in general or just any movie where the whole room spins? That's how it was. My eyes, my vision, everything couldn't see. And it was scary. It was very scary.
When you felt that, what did you do?
I stayed there for like a second, and I got back up, and I thought maybe like I just like moved too fast. Like, I don't know if y'all done that. I don't know if you've done that, but I thought maybe that was the case, because I've done that sometimes, you know, got up too fast, like, whoa. Rubbed my eyes, and I tried to do it again. Tried to walk. Fell again. Couldn't. And what did you see when you came up?
She was laying there on the side of her bed, and she was, and I know she's pale, guys, but she was even more pale than she is now, and she normally is. So I was like, what's going on? She goes, I'm just not feeling well. I'm dizzy. I can't open my eyes. And she goes, I feel like I'm trying to throw up, but I can't throw up. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, I'm just dry heaving. And I was like, okay, why don't we take a pill for nausea and try to get you to see if you can calm down the nauseousness. Lay back down and I'll wake you up in a little bit. She was still feeling awful. She could not get up out of bed, you guys. So
my daughter is by my side, and
yeah. So I forced her up, and I told her we have to go to the hospital. I said, this is scary. This isn't okay. We've got to go to the hospital. And then I'll let you pick up from what you remember, what you think was going on when I took you.
Everything's a blur. I really don't remember.
So what do you remember from the hospital? Or the ER?
Huh?
What do you remember from the ER?
I remember sitting in a wheelchair. And the next thing I remember is looking at you, saying, baby. And I remember just looking like this and you holding my hand. That's all I remember. Honestly, it's like in and out, in and out, in and out. I also remember being in the waiting room at one point and looking at you, in and out as well. And I remember you rushing me, like where the waiting room is area, and you saying, help my girlfriend, help my girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
We were sitting in the waiting room, you guys, and everything was okay. We were there for about 2 hours, and I couldn't get her seen right away because you guys know how ERs are. I couldn't get her seen right away, so we're sitting waiting our turn patiently, and I'm trying to let her rest in a wheelchair, and I look over to check on her, and she is having a huge seizure. So I grabbed her up, and I ran to the nurse's station, and I was like, somebody help me, someone please help me, because I know how to handle a seizure when she has it, but if I'm at a hospital and I can get her medical attention right away, that's what needs to happen. So I rushed her to the nurse. They put her in a hallway at the emergency room immediately, put an IV in her, started running tests, and they had her out in the hallway for about 4 to 5 hours, and then they told me, yeah. And then they told me that
I don't remember any of this, guys.
And they told me I needed to leave because of COVID and things like that, and that if there was any updates, I could come back up. And I told them, I was like, okay, well, like, I don't want to leave, but I need to apparently, so I'm going to come back tomorrow. And they're like, we'll call and give you an update and things like that.
I was out of it. I don't remember any of this. It was like a movie. It's just in and out.
Yeah.
Like, you ever seen those movies where you see the eyes go...
What's the next thing you remember after the ER?
After the ER, I remember them putting me in a room.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, we are gonna put you in a room. I was like, okay. And I remember looking out the window, and there's a building, like, with a view, and it was rainy. And I remember having an IV, like, right here. And just them telling me, hey, we're gonna give you all this medication. It's gonna make you feel better. Your head's not gonna hurt no more. And I was like, okay. And I remember not really being coherent. But I remember feeling okay. Feeling a little bit better. Just kind of everything being silent. Just really being silent.
What symptoms were you having at that point while you were already in the hospital after you had been admitted?
I remember feeling really hot.
Hot?
And cold. And anxious. And really alone. Even though I knew I wasn't alone, obviously, I had you, I had Cam, you know, I had my family and stuff. Everybody was like, calling my phone and stuff, checking on me 24/7 and stuff like that. But like, it was an ugly feeling. And it was just because of all the medication they were doping me up on. And it was a lot of medication, like a lot. And it was doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor that kept coming in. It was just a lot to take in at once. And then after that, it was like the day never seemed to, like I never got to see a day, I guess, if that made any sense.
You felt like it was one big long day?
Yeah, it was like one big day.
I understand.
So
Talk about your walking. So after you got admitted to the ER, you couldn't walk, and then still after you got into a room at the hospital, what happened then after you got into the room in the hospital and things like that? Were you still able to walk?
They started running a bunch of tests.
Mm-hmm.
Once they started running a bunch of tests, they started noticing that the doctors, when they came to talk to me, they're like, okay, now we see why you're having seizures, why you're having headaches, and then like, okay, now we see also you're having another problem with your body that you're not realizing. I was like, oh boy, okay. So then I called my girlfriend. I'm like, okay, so we found out why I'm also getting dizzy.
What
why
problem
I couldn't
is that?
see.
Yeah, what problem is it?
The problem was I was being diagnosed with something that they didn't know if they could fully diagnose me yet. So they brought in other doctors that they're like, we want to run this test on you that we want to...
Adrenal insufficiency.
Exactly. It's a big word, guys. So when they told me that, I want to tell you, my heart kind of dropped. Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm normal!
You can be excited!
Ha! Normal. Oh, normal! Yeah, I can know mama.
I'm normal.
It's back!
Baby's back. So we can kind of resume to what we were talking about a little bit. Is you remember
They
when
were trying to diagnose me with some shit, but I ain't diagnosed with that shit, so I'm good. And there's gonna be a lot of
literally
hard to be. They were trying to diagnose me with this deficiency, but they are not going to diagnose me because I'm back. Okay.
It reminds me of the when we opened the packages and we did the news. Flashback to news. You were like, "Here's we're going to read the letter today from Ricky," and you were reading the letter. That was awesome. Okay, so we can resume a little bit. You talked about, you remember waking up in the hospital room. You still couldn't really walk. You were still feeling nauseous. And they were running all these tests on you, and they still couldn't figure out what was going on.
They were trying to diagnose me with adrenaline deficiency, and they're running a bunch of tests. They had to run, they had to actually inject me with these steroid injections. Now, it sounds, yeah, I know it sounds how it sounds, but it's not. What they do is they take this injection, they put it in an IV, and then they come and they draw blood, and then they go and take it and run it into the lab, And then when they run the test, it will indicate on if you have the adrenaline deficiency. Now, because I got the news that I got, yes, I am okay. But the scare was very terrifying because you don't know. You have so many symptoms, it could be anything. Now, the dizziness can be my papilledema. That's another thing I'm also diagnosed with. Yeah.
What is that?
Papilledema. I actually have to look that up because I am not that educated on it yet. Yeah, guys. But papilledema is pressure in behind the eyes. It's fluid behind the eyes. Another thing I want to educate you guys on that you probably don't know about me is I used to have a VP shunt. Yeah.
What is that for people who don't know what that is?
A VP shunt is, I'm going to put it in the simplest way for you guys. Think of, we have a straw. Get a straw. Okay, right, get the straw, guys. Actually, it's cool because it's one of the bendy straws too. So that's even cooler. All right. Get you a bendy straw. Yeah. Bend the straw. All right. A VP shunt is like this bendy straw, and you get it. They put it in your head, and they place it from the top of your head down, and it runs all the way down. And this one ain't long enough, guys, but it'll go all the way down to your stomach, and it loops, and that drains the fluid from your head down, and it drains it so the pressure from your head doesn't create as much, and it helps circulate the blood and everything, because if it does not, I would not be able to function. I would not even be here, basically. It has damaged a lot when I was a baby in my eyes, which is why I wear really thick glasses. Now, unfortunately, I have to take vitamins. I have to work a little bit more better with my health. So this does not happen again, baby. So yeah, but.
So to pick up the story time a little bit, after you got your room in the ER and things like that, they ran all these tests on you and they still couldn't really figure out what was going on. The only thing they were telling you is, hey, your blood pressure's low, your blood sugar's low.
My blood pressure's dropping. My heart rate did drop quite a bit also as well. They helped me with that, get back on track. They got me to where I needed. They ran all these tests, and guys, it was scary. They gave me a bunch of medications, and I had to take a lot in order to get where I needed to be, and the vitamins I was taking and medications I was taking and the side effects I was going through was a lot to endure. And I'm trying to remember everything, to explain to you.
I said that's why I'm going through a little bit of a summary to try to help.
Take in.
Yeah.
So
after they ran all these tests and things, and when would you say you started feeling a little bit more like yourself?
I started feeling a little bit more like myself when they started giving me the seizure medication. The seizure medication is what really put me back on track. That is what really helped me feel like myself again. Because, guys, that's mainly the number one thing I think what was putting me off. That's one of my things when doing my job is, the hardest thing is my headaches. I have headaches. I have a lot of headaches. And that's what I was just talking to you about, is my VP shunt. In 2019 is when I got my VP shunt removed. And I started having headaches in 2020. I'd noticed my headaches came back. My girlfriend noticed my headaches came back. She also noticed I started having seizures again. She noticed my work wasn't really going like how it used to. Y'all also noticed I wasn't on social media as much. My TikToks weren't being posted as much. My Instagram wasn't being posted as much. I started going downhill. And because of that, it's because of my health. Not because I didn't want to be on social media. It wasn't because I was ignoring you guys. It's because my health was going down. So my health was going down, I was going down, and I'm in here. So now that they gave me this medication, and it's the only medication because I am so small and my weight is so tiny, a lot of medications that y'all take, if you are having seizures or if you go through what I go through, which if you have headaches, then you know, hey, I have seizures, I have headaches, I have to take a certain medication, I'm a certain weight, and you're tiny, and I'm, so if you're a neurologist looking at my video, or if you're an adult, an advertised adult looking at my video, you're like, whoa, you're tiny, you can't take what I take. Exactly. So the medication I'm taking right now is the slowest dose ever. And it's the only medication I'm able to take. So, I'm okay now. I'm finally on something that I can be okay to take. And now I'm able to finally do my job. Which I can be there for you guys.
Well, I know we've been trying to be here for you, and even though you haven't been able to be on social media and things like that, I know that...
Which makes me kind of feel bad, because you guys are what keeps me going. So, and obviously my daughter, you guys love that as well. So...
Don't feel too bad. They're here definitely to support you, for sure. And your health is important because you can't make everyone laugh and smile if you're not healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also, I wouldn't worry too much because Boss and I on the back end try to make sure that your social media presence is still there a little bit. We try to post on YouTube.
This is why I want to make this, guys, because so hey, she's fell off social media a little because this is what's going on. And I'm normal. I'm human. So, you're not alone. If you have seizures, I'm right there with you. Come sit in my bed.
Well, you don't have enough room for the amount of people that want to come sit in your bed.
Yeah, sorry guys, but yeah.
So, how many days did you go in the hospital without being able to walk?
About a week, almost 2 weeks. About a week.
When's the first day you walked? Was it 2 days ago or 3 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what was the first time?
It was frustrating. I cried a lot because that's never ever happened. I felt helpless. I didn't like it. Especially because dancing's a huge thing for me, guys. Y'all know that. Y'all see me bouncing upside the walls. Y'all see me do tricks that she's been mad at me about.
Give me heart
Going
attacks.
upside down, and she's wanted to jump on the stage. Why did you do that? So, yeah. But I started walking, and about 2 days ago, I posted that I was not going to feel sorry for myself anymore. I was going to get up. They just brought me a walker, actually. And you have to see my walker. See my walker. This is my walker, guys.
Are you going to name it another person
I am.
you know? All right.
I'm going to name her Linda.
Name her Linda?
Linda.
Oh, boy. Linda the Walker.
This is my Linda.
This is my Linda.
Watch it. I'm going to spray paint her, too. If I take her home, I'll spray paint her.
Oh, yeah. Hot
Get
pink
her all
coming
out.
through.
She's going to be pretty in pink.
Rhinestone her out.
Bedazzle her out, yeah.
Oh,
But
boy.
yeah,
So explain, I know is your physical therapist. Explain, the first time he got you to walk and how that was. I know you said that was a
was
a
hard.
bad...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first thing that told me to do was he didn't get me to walk right away. He told me you can't obviously leap from the gym. So the first thing he did was we did the exercise where we moved our legs. We moved them up and down. Then we did stands. After we did stands, she said, we're going to take 2 steps, just back and forth. And we did them right here. And we just did 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's it. She didn't pressure me. She wanted me to make sure I did it on my own time when I was ready. And then I pushed myself. And then I did it. And then the next day I walked.
How long did you walk the next day?
I think I walked for maybe about 10, 20 minutes.
Oh, snap. 2 steps to 10 or 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was very determined. I wanted to go home because he actually started talking to me about his daughter. He has a 7-year-old.
Just like somebody else I know.
And then he has a son as well. And we started talking about our kids. And he got me a little emotional. And he's like, well, if you want to go home with her, you got to get moving. And then he started talking about my job. That got me going too. And he started talking about you. And I got going, and I just got going and going and going. And then we got started talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. And we got going, yeah.
And then you was walking before you knew it, huh?
Yeah,
So you don't feel dizzy when you try to walk anymore?
I did. And he stopped me. Even though I wanted to keep going, he stopped me.
Was it just the first day you still felt dizzy, or do you still feel
It was
dizzy?
the first day, second day. There was times I got very frustrated and angry. It was hard.
Did you feel dizzy when you did therapy today?
I did.
Okay.
I did, and I actually did steps today.
Does it come and go, or is it just, I'm dizzy, I need to sit down?
It comes and goes.
Okay.
But it also is, they told me because of the medication.
That it could make you dizzy or
It's
off
also because
balance.
of the medication. It's going to take, they said, a couple of months for my body to adjust.
One of the pills that they were on, that they had you on for the adrenaline insufficiency,
Yeah.
they decided to take you off of it.
Yeah.
So if that's what was making you dizzy, then
We're
that
hoping
shouldn't be.
that is.
I was like, then that shouldn't be happening to you anymore. So that's very good.
Hopefully that is what it is. If not, then it's just my body going to have to get used to it. But, yep. That's what it is, guys.
So we're at an update of today, and today you're looking good and you're feeling a little bit good. And they
My
got,
eyebrows are so fucked up.
yeah, you have almost a full clean bill of health.
Almost.
So we are a little bit finished with our health update for the day, and we've told story time up until now. So is there anything else that you'd like to say to everyone?
I honestly just want to thank everybody for, like, watching me, being very supportive, and also like, comment, and you guys hit that button, subscribe, because like turn those notifications on, because I would be posting a lot of stuff on updates, because I have to. Hello, voila. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for just being very supportive and just for following and liking and subscribing. I love you guys. Hey guys, it's your one and only Tiny Sexy. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you would like more of me, go check out all my social media. Of course, it's at Tiny Sexy.